Hi, I'm going to be talking about the children's theatre piece that I'm working on. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is the first processes we got in the last month or so. Throughout this whole video, it will be a log of what we've been doing and how I've got there. So for now, I'm going to talk about what I've done in this past month and then probably update from now, maybe weekly or every 2 weeks, as much as I need to, really. So the first thing that we did was look at stimulus. So we looked at four different stimuluses. Two were from David Walliams, and two of them were from Julia Donaldson. The one that we decided to go with was The Scarecrow's Wedding. So with that, we looked to Julia Donaldson, so I'll talk about that now. Julia Donaldson is an acclaimed author, playwright, and performer whose catalogue features more than 108 published works. She published for her first works in 1993, and it was well known for her collaborations with illustrator Alex Schulfer. Our generation most likely knows her best for The Gruffalo. I personally looked in to The Scarecrow's Wedding. We also looked quite heavily into A Boy in a Dress as well. However, we decided to go with The Scarecrow's Wedding as it's more of a very clear plot, a clear beginning, middle, end, and a rising action and a closing action. So The Scarecrow's Wedding. The Scarecrow's Wedding is about Betty O'Barley and Harry O'Hay. They are planning the perfect wedding, but a wicked scarecrow, Reginald Rake, has other ideas and almost ruins their special day. Harry must become a hero before he and Betty can have the wedding of their dreams. So the beginning is Harry proposing to Betty and they make their little list of things they need to get for the wedding. Then the build up is they go around the farm getting loads of little things that they need for the wedding, and they get all these things, and when they acquire them, they meet loads of friends on the way, and their friends join them on this wedding trip. And the problem, when Harry goes off on his own to get some flowers, the evil Reginald Rake comes along to try and steal Betty O'Barley, and then the resolution is Harry comes in and saves the day after Reginald Rake tried to set fire to the field that Betty was in. And after he sets out that fire, they have their lovely wedding with all their friends that they met on the way. So, the stimuluses we actually looked at, other than the Scarecrow's Wedding, that which we decided to go with, we looked at Charlie Cook's favourite book. It's like The Wizard of Oz. It meets loads of characters as well, which is really great if we're doing a big theatre piece. It also shows friendship and how you connect with loads of different people, and we thought that'd be good, but the reason we didn't go with that was because it is very overcomplicated, and we didn't want to make it too overcomplicated because it is for children and that's our target audience. And when we were choosing these roles and when we were choosing our stimulus, we needed to make sure that we were going with something that's simple enough for children and that they will really enjoy, so we didn't go with that. We also looked at Grandpa's Great Escape. It's an adventure story. Grandpa leaves clues for Jack, and characters are Jack, Grandpa, and Parent, and it shows children bonding with family, which is an amazing thing to show children. However, this story only had like 2 or 3 different characters, so we didn't think that was best because we have like quite a long rigid cast and we wanted everyone to be included. And then last one we looked at was The Boy in the Dress, which was a schoolboy who wants to wear a skirt. It has a lot of narration, which we thought is very good, and it's a very key element of epic theatre, but you can add that into The Scarecrow's Wedding, which we will do. And The Boy in the Dress also shows individuality and going against gender norms, but we didn't go with that because, again, quite a small cast for something that we want everyone to be included in, and children, again, we wanted them to really connect, and we kind of use the narration from The Boy in the Dress in The Scarecrow's Wedding, so we kind of took from that. So with that as the Scarecrow's Wedding as our stimulus, we began then thinking how we can adapt that for ourselves. So we thought the introduction could be our 2 narrators, who we decided was Titch and Jaden. We had this is our like brief, very very like mild script first. So we had an introduction with Titch and Jaden, and they talk to everyone and say hi. These are our characters. Then me and Ismir, who will be our Betty O'Barley and Harry O'Hay, we make a list of things that we need, and our concept basically was that instead of it going around a farm, each animal is from a certain place, and we go to visit them and then pick them up on the way instead of it being just around the farm. So what we want to achieve is show children diversity and loads of just different places and culture, because that's not something children get shown often, and we can show that through a fun way, and also having our characters as animals as well, because
So
children do. We
love
had this basic concept, and now having our basic concept, we decided what roles everyone should have. So I will go through the roles now. The role that I have is a co-director with Becca, and I play Cherry, the cat, also masked as a scarecrow. Becca is a co-director with me and plays an Australian tiger, which is the villain, and then her name is Tigger, or I think we later changed that to Rico. Soraya is a set designer because we thought that she has very good ideas with how it should be placed, and she has a very good creative eye for that, so we chose Soraya to do that, and she plays a giraffe, which is from Italy. Ismir is costume and makeup and plays a fairy called Berry and is married to me, so this is our version of Betty O'Barley and Harry O'Hay. So Ismir and me are the couple getting married. Megan is also on costume and makeup and plays a bear called Polo, who we meet on the way to Manchester. She's from, so she's the first person we meet as well. So Megan is one of the people that help around on the farm. That's what she's come from the Scarecrow's Wedding to our version. So she's someone who helps us find a ring, which is one of the first things that they get on the farm as well in the stimulus. Titch is on budgeting and plays a scarecrow, which is the narrator called Jenny. So we later decided, like around this time when I was writing this, that Jaden and Titch are this old couple. They are the scarecrows, and they've hired a company to show their story, and it keeps just going wrong. Scripted, obviously, to go wrong, because things going wrong children love, because it's funny and it makes it more enjoyable for them while also showing culture as well. So Jaden and Titch we developed them to be a married couple. So now Jaden and Titch are playing this married couple, saying, oh, is that how it went? Is that how this is going? So yeah, that's what Jaden and Titch doing. And Jaden himself is on set lighting and sound, and he plays the scarecrow, which is of course married to Titch, that is telling their story. So the narrators, Jaden and Titch, are also kind of like, they already know what's going to happen, where our characters kind of don't, in a way, because they're playing it out as it goes. And then last but not least, we have Emmy, who is a social media manager, and he plays the Russian penguin that helps me and Ismir learn how to dance. So yeah, and that is as far as I've got so far, and it's now like the end of April, so we still have many weeks to go, and of course this will be updated more and more as this goes on, as the process goes on. But for the month of March, for these 2 weeks, this is what we're doing. We have our draft script. We have one scene down, which is the scene with George, and now we are going to just further develop our scenes and get them really out there and going. And yeah, so I will update you in the next clip, and it will either be about changes or things we've added or how the scenes are going. But yeah, thank you. That's how we developed our piece and our stimulus and got to the conclusion we're at now. Thank you. Hello, now it is the 18th of April, and we've just done another week of working on our children's theatre piece. This week, on Monday, first we worked on a new scene where me and Ismir get married. We worked on that throughout the whole day and tried to touch up some of the other scenes. And working on that, we finished the lesson by performing it to the other group, and they gave some feedback. A lot of the feedback was to make sure that even though we're moving, make sure we're moving if we have a purpose, because a lot of the time I was just like dancing about the place with no actual purpose. So that was some of the feedback we got. Second, we on Thursday we worked on another new scene which was the fourth scene with me, Megan, Ismir, and then the narrators, and we worked on that. It wasn't a very long scene, so we worked on that for the first like half of the lesson. And for the next, we were just like evaluating, like what we could do to make it more simple, because we started to realize that our piece was very complicated, and it's because it's been developed so far. We've added too much, and we need to just start stripping it back to show the main concept of what we were trying to get across. So by Friday morning, we decided that we should just keep to the original animals that were in the book. So me and Ismir are now Scarecrow, Megan is a goose, Soraya is a cow, Emmy is a frog, and Titch and Jaden are still the old couple telling their story. And so me and Isma just play younger them, and we're scarecrows as well. So, and Becca plays a scarecrow because the villain is a scarecrow as well. So with that, we worked with that concept then on Friday, and on Friday we didn't work on anything new per se, but we went through everything that we already had and added our new concept because we had to change a few things. So with that done, I think that on Monday we should be working on a new scene as well, because on Friday afternoon I wasn't there myself, but they worked on, because I was the director, I told them like what to work on, and they were working on the scene with Emmy, and Megan, because she is the choreographer, she worked on the choreography for that scene. So then Monday, all for the first half of the day, for first, second lesson, we're going to be working on the dance scene with Emmy. And yeah, and then throughout the week, we're going to, hopefully, by the end of the week, we should have every scene down. So then for the rest of the time we have rehearsal in, then we have more time to just like slick it, make it perfect, and amazing. And also we worked on, Ismir, I know, worked more on the costumes, because we had to change them as well, because we're all different animals now. So me and Ismir will have the same costumes as Titch and Jaden, because we're the younger versions of them, and then the rest of them will just have costumes like that are similar to the animal. And there's nothing changed about our set. We're still keeping the accents for each person. They're all from different places as well. We're keeping all of that, and then just changing the animals. So most of it, nothing has changed drastically except from our animals, which isn't like a big change, because we just need to state that we're different animals, and we haven't got the costumes yet, so it doesn't really matter. And then I think that is all to update on. But yeah, we also, at the beginning of this week, we made targets, and my target was to work better as a director, because I found myself not butting in as much. You know, when like, I know at the beginning of the week, Jaden and Titch, their scene wasn't very energetic, it was quite just like flat. So on Thursday, I made sure to really like hound in on my target to be a better director, to like say, oh, you need more energy here, and be not blunt, sort of, just to be direct and say like if it's not working, because we can't be nice when it needs to be good. That sounds very horrible, but yeah. So I made sure that I was giving my input in each like scene and making sure it was all okay, and obviously taking input from everyone else, because it's not my piece, it's a group piece. But yeah, I was making sure I worked well as a director, and I think I did that this week. And next week, I'm not sure what my target is, but I will mention it like in the next clip for next week's stuff. Thank you. Hi. Okay, so today is the 30th of April. It's been a while since the last clip. It's been like 2 weeks because we didn't get a lot done last week because we had quite a lot of people missing. We just kind of worked on our characters and then finishing up all our scenes. So we had 3 scenes left to go, which was the wedding scene, the dance scene, and Becca's like villain scene. So we got all of that down and we worked on making sure that had a good structure as well. Here you can, somewhere on the screen, you'll be able to see the way we like structured the scenes and planned it. So first, what we did last week. So Monday last week we just got down. We also had to do Emmy scene, I think, as well. I think we added a scene. I think that's what how there was like 3 left, but then we had 4 as well. So we did Emmy scene. We learnt our dance, and we just went through all of it up to Emmy scene on Monday. Thursday, where Thursday we worked quite hard, and because we stay later on a Thursday, we did Becca's scene, and we made sure we had a backing track for that. And we made sure Becca's character is very villainy, and we were like making sure we're focusing that our target audience is children, because I think we kept getting ideas that were very nice but not pointed towards children. So we were making it very like creepy and very like evil, but we realized that we needed to like take it down a pitch, like, because it's too much for we had like very creepy like background music and stuff, and it was all spooky and really nice, but we needed to have it less because it's obviously towards children. So we did that on Thursday, got Becca's scene done, and I think that's like the best we worked for a very long time. Friday we didn't do that much because we were missing someone, but we worked on the wedding scene and we took loads of criticism and worked with that. So in our wedding scene we have like quite a long scene, it's like 4 minutes, and it's just kind of like a comedic thing at the start, like we're really worried about the wedding, and then Titch's character Betty, like the older Betty, she has like a go at the younger Betty, which is me, and after that we go in to the wedding, and then after that is the dance scene. We worked on that as well, so we're doing all of that. We had our whole piece, and then this week, while having our whole piece, Monday we're again missing someone most of the day, so we tried to go for it without her, but it was quite hard, but we worked through it anyway. We kept pushing forward, and we made sure we were doing our work as well. And also on Monday we also worked on developing our characters, because now that we have our full piece, we need to apply what we know about children's theatre in that, and we wanted to make sure we had it very like fun and upbeat characters, and we like look like our characters and act like our characters and physicalize that. So on Monday, during the afternoon, after we'd like rehearsed a bit, we just worked on how our characters walk, how our characters always talk with our accents, because we all have accents. Apart from me and Megan, we have like British accents, which is kind of our accent anyway. It's just a bit like more upbeat. So me and Megan both have that kind of accent, which is like, oh hi, yeah, babe. Like it's very that. So it's not the hardest of accents. So the rest of them worked really hard on their accents. Like Ismir, Emmy, Becca, Megan, Titch. Not Jaden, Titch. Sorry. Then after that, oh, I've lost where I am. Then, yeah, so we just worked on how our characters walk and stuff and talk, and how to really physicalize it. And also, we worked on how me and Izmir should reflect on how Titch and Jaden play their scarecrows, because they physicalize theirs very well. And with us, you can't really see that with scarecrows. That's the criticism we got. So we made sure we applied that and physicalized our roles as well, because we can't be the only ones that aren't physicalizing our roles. Then on Thursday, which was yesterday, we just went through a run through again and again and again, and then we worked on costumes as well towards the end. So we just wanted to make sure we had a full run through with timing it. It's going quite over at the moment, but that is with like breaks, like that's with like stopping sometimes in between a scene to be like, oh, is it this, like with small little questions in between. So we get to have like a proper like run through. Like we almost got one yesterday, but then like someone always comes in at like the end and talks to us, so we kind of have to pause, and it's just like a not very accurate timing of like what's going on. But at the moment it's like 28 minutes, which is like a couple of minutes over. So, but by the time I think show day, it should be shorter. Like it won't take as long, I don't think, because we'll get used to performing it, and normally it gets like quicker. So I'm not worried about that. And yeah, so yesterday all we did really was doing that. And then we made, like, we planned out all our outfits and stuff. Isma did that for us because Isma is on costume, so we just made sure we knew what we're doing. So for me, I think the plan is for the scarecrows, all of us to wear plaid shirts. So me, Becca, Izmir, Jaden, Titch, all of us wear scarecrow outfits and plaid shirts, ripped jeans kind of thing, like very scraggly clothes. And then the rest of them are all animals, so like a beak with Megan, just all green for Emmy because it's a frog, and then like some cow print for Soraya. And I think that is all. I mean, it's Friday at the moment, I'm not in, because I have hurt my leg, but I have like messaged the group and told them to like work on the scenes that I'm not really in that much, and like develop their characters and that. And then right now I'm gonna work on the draft script and write that out because I'm the director. So I'm gonna write out all the script and all the cues and stuff. And yeah, that's all, I think. But now that we have our full thing all fleshed out, all the scenes, now what we need to really, really work on is like developing our characters and make sure that like we're constantly addressing the audience, constantly keeping the children engaged. So yeah, that's it. I shall update you next week, and then I guess just before show day or show day. But yeah. Okay, now we're talking about the script and when we enter and exit on all the cues. Megan, take it away.
Right.
You just cut loads of hair.
Scene one. Lights up. Titch and Jaden are on stage. This is just where they talk about what is going to go on in the play, how it's going to happen, and it's also the intro to all of the characters. So I come on, just kind of say who I am. I exit. That's all of that is just to show the audience who we are. And then Izmir comes on first. Yeah, comes on first. Then Maya. Then me. Then Soraya. Then Emmy. Then that's again just to show each other like who we are. When Becca comes on as well, the reaction between her and the narrators will be kind of tension because obviously she's a baddie and everyone's going to boo for her. That will be her reaction.
And Titch and Jaden let the audience know like when like Becca comes on that they need to move, so we have that interaction later on in the play.
And then Becca will leave. Titch and Jaden will just kind of say to their cue, there were flowers on the ground. Jaden goes, I don't think so. Lights then go down. Scene 2, Myra and Isma on stage, lights up. Wonder everybody, it's such a beautiful day. Titch and Jaden then come on, correct them, run them around a little bit, and they go back off again. Myra and Isma then talk about the list and what's involved. And when you say about the rings, Titch comes on, corrects you, it was actually feathers because that's what's in the book. That's where we've got the play that goes wrong aspect.
Oh my god.
And then you carry on, what's next on the list? Food. And then Titch comes back on, no, that's not what happened, we got bells from the cow, again, that's what was in the book. You continue, you then talk about dance from the frog. Titch then comes on again, that's not what happened. Harry got water and flowers from the frog, that's what happened in the book. They leave again. You then talk about your perfect wedding dress and how you're going to go get it. Titch then comes on and corrects you. The wedding dress was actually from the evil scarecrow Patches, and he set fire to it, because that's what happened in the book. Then the cue for that is when Maya says Harry because Isma's walked the wrong direction, she's dragging him back onto the right one. Lights down. Scene 3, Titch and Jaden are on stage. This is where Titch talks about how they're going on travelling and they're going to meet someone called Blue the Goose. That's me. I then come on and say that I gave him rings. They correctly say that it's feathers. That's what I did. And then we've got some sort of like little disagreement where it's rings. That's like Titch and Jaden then I then talk to the audience about rings and stuff, and then I say they'll be here soon. Isma and Maya then come on stage, ask me about the rings. I give them the rings, and then you invite me on the journey to the wedding, basically. That's when me, Maya, and Isma all come off stage, and Jaden and Titch enter, and then they say, after we went to get the feathers, we went somewhere else to talk to cow for bells. The cue for that is when Titch goes, you know what my memory's like, and Jaden just laughs at her basically. Then lights down, scene 4, Mission Impossible music's playing, because Becca then comes in. Becca's the evil scarecrow Patches, hence the music. This is where Becca comes in, breaks into the pizza shop, and the audience kind of booing her away and stuff. And then as Becca leaves, the Mission Impossible music stops and the Italian music plays for Soraya's entrance. Soraya comes in, obviously notices the pasta shop, talks about it. She then makes pizza with the audience for like breaking the fall, same thing. She then breaks the fourth wall with that because direct address, and then she goes into the pizza shop. Yeah.
Soraya is like during that scene. She's helping, like the children are included. She makes the children also make it with her as well.
Unless we got her a rolling pin.
Doing the pizza dough one seems more inclusive for children.
The pasta's like already made, like kind of, because we come in and there's already food, so we'll have like pasta and stuff there already.
Pizza.
But then why do you break into the...
As I was saying, she then goes round and says, my friend should be here any minute. Then enters Maya, Isma and me. We say hello to the audience. We call for George. Soraya comes over. This is where we talk about the food. And then...
We need a bowl of spaghetti.
And then
Yeah,
Becca
we will have one.
enters. No.
Is
And
it real
then
spaghetti?
Jaden and Titch come in
Jade and Titch
and
come
say
in.
they
We
smell
smell
a
a
villain.
villain. Chaotic music in the background because we're being chased by Becca. Becca then throws pasta.
Are we having real pasta or fake?
It'll be real pasta. It'll be real pasta.
she throws pasta over Maya. Soraya chases her off stage with a baguette.
Yeah. Soraya, would you be able to get a baguette? Yeah, get like a really big baguette for Thursday. Cool.
Becca exits, and then we invite Soraya on the journey to the wedding. Exits Soraya, Maya, Ismet, and me. Then enters Titch and Jaden, and they say after we saw our friend George, we then went travelling to see Fred Frog to get flowers and water. And then the cue is Jaden saying, "Oh, they were beautiful flowers, they were." Lights down, scene 5, exit Emmy, lights up, Emmy says, "Hi kids, let's dance," and then it's that, and then he goes, "They should be here any minute." Then enters Maya and Soraya, and then we kind of talk about dancing and how we can't keep up with the dance. Yeah, and then Maya then invites Emmy on the journey to the wedding. The cue is "Let's go everyone, get fire." Lights down, scene 6, which is Titch and Jaden on stage, lights up. Titch then says that this is where the evil scarecrow bit happens and she gets set on fire. And then Titch starts panicking about what happened, and then exit Titch and Jaden, enter Becca playing creepy music. This is where she boos at the audience and then booed at her. This is where she talks about how bad was the dress and how she's going to ruin the wedding. Becca's cue is "Right now we wait," and then she laughs, then exits, and then enter Maya, Isma, me, Emmy and Soraya. And then we talk about the dress and how nice it is. And then we call for the cellar. Jaden and Titch rush in, we smell a villain. Celtic music then plays again. Enter Becca. Becca chases everyone around the dress. We kind of ask her, like...
Am I throwing actual water on the dress?
No. It will be a bowl of blue tissue paper. Yeah? And then that happens, and we were like, "Look, why have you done this? What's wrong?" Yeah. Yeah, it's on the script. But that cue is just when Becca comes in, and then it stops when she throws the water. We then become friends with Becca, she apologises, and we all become friends. The cue then is "Come on guys, let's go to the wedding everyone," and everyone says bye. Lights go down. That will then be scene 7. Everyone's on stage then because it's the wedding scene, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is. Lights up, Titch goes, "So are you ready to go to Maya?" And then there's a back and forth part from Titch and Jaden checking in on Maya, then Ismir, then Maya, then Ismir, then Maya. The last time they check on Maya, Titch then has enough, says to the audience that she's had enough, she goes on a rant, and Maya says, "I'm just going to say thank you," and then the wedding then happens. Then the cue for that is Emmy saying, "It's now dance time, let's dance everyone." Everyone then exits, lights down, scene 8, which is the last scene, lights come up. I'm gonna ask about coloured lights to see what they have, because it's dance.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've got red, pink and purple, something like that. And then the dance will start. We're all going to be talking throughout the dance, so it's not like awkward. The dance then ends. Everyone apart from Titch and Jaden leave off stage. Then Titch and Jaden can kind of say, like, "Thank you for watching. Let's have like a final round of applause for all the characters." We all come in, say hello and all that, say goodbye. And then Titch and Jaden just end it. And that's it.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about what I've done in the last day or so. In the last clip, you would have saw me, Megan, and Emmy talking about the structure of our piece. So now I'm going to talk about what I've done for the last day or so, and we're in rehearsal week, so we're in like the last week. On Wednesday, we're going in for full rehearsal in the theatre, and then Thursday is show day. So for today, all we did was we went in the morning for the first like hour or so. We went into costume and stuff, so we could be in character and like really like start to know how like comfortable we'll be on the day. So we got into full costume and tried makeup out as well. So you would have saw that in the last clip, it's me in makeup. So I did that, and after that next lesson that was the last clip. Was the second lesson. In that clip we were going through where we enter and come in on a scene. We were just checking how we structure each scene and what the beginning and end of the lines are. So after we did that, then next lesson after that, because we spent most of the lesson doing that anyway, next lesson after that we did a full rehearsal of everything and timed it. We just wanted to make sure that we're properly stay in character while we're in the whole thing, so we made sure we were giving it our all in said rehearsals, and we made sure that like during it's very we're making sure that we are in character, like no matter what, even if we're not talking in the scene. I know I talk a lot in the scenes, like when I'm on, normally I am speaking, but when I'm not, I need to make sure I'm reacting to everything, because if kids pick up randomly that we're not in character, it will just ruin all the illusion for them. So we also hounded in at like remembering who our target audience is, because we keep rehearsing and we need to we just had to like point out that like our target audience is children. We need to always have upbeat tones. We need to always have a very like not very like passive voice tones, so that the kids are like kind of sympathizing with us in a way. So not sympathizing, wrong word. So the kids are like engaged, so they're listening and they know that we are trying to make a good time for them and we're telling our story. So we made sure we did that. We're making sure that our voice is always there, and in accents we can still have a very children's theatre voice with our accents as well. So we're making sure we did that as well, and we were making sure that we were constantly breaking the fourth wall and talking to our audience, because kids constantly need to have this like conversation going, otherwise their attention span, because it's so short, they just like gaze off. So we need to make sure we're constantly talking to the audience and constantly doing that. So we made sure we did all that as well, and we were making sure that we were including key elements of children's theatre within all of this. So yeah, we were making sure we did all of that. And then we performed to our classmates and doing that, and we did that and we got some feedback. Our feedback was pretty much to make sure things are more clear. If things don't seem clear, make it simpler. So it was just like it's pretty much like a tidying of lines, because we're still in some scenes, there's some people that are still kind of like improvising. We need to make sure we're not doing that, and we went over that after anyway, and we talked through that, so we know exactly what we're doing now and making sure it's clear so children understand that. So we got our feedback, and then we went for a speed run from it, so we know our entrances and exits and where we're standing on stage at every single time. And now that we've done that, we all have a very we know where we are on each scene, we know how we exit, we know how we enter, we know exactly where we are. And now that we know that, we are ready on Wednesday to rehearse with lighting and sound in the theatre, and then we should be amazingly ready for Thursday when we are performing it. So yeah, I think my group is very prepared now after rehearsing so much, and I think we've all worked really well as a group as well. We had our programme done by Titch, and that was finished today, and I did the draft script last week, and then off of that Megan and Becca worked on the full script with all the cues that were more like fleshed out. So I think we've all really delegated the work really well. Izmir did an amazing job with doing all the costumes and giving us all ideas and what we need to get and what we don't need to get, and keeping that very together and making sure we were all on it, so we're ready for Thursday. Soraya and Jaden did an amazing job with making sure all our sound stuff's together, making sure it's on the playlist and getting that sent off. And Soraya did a really good job at doing the set and like kind of staging as well, because Soraya's really helped with the staging and where we should be at all times. And then me and Becca, I'd like to think, did a good job at being a director as well. We've constantly, when we're going through scenes, like constantly pointing out what needs to be chopped and changed, what needs to be more energy, and yeah, I think we did a good job of that. And then Emmy also did a really lovely poster too. So I think we've worked really well in a group, and we've gotten well as like a production company as well. We've been very efficient, and we've dealt with a lot and still got through that. Because we've had loads of days where people aren't in, and we still got through that and kept going. And I think my group did really well at working together, and I think we are ready for Thursday when we perform. So yeah, for my last clip now, I'm going to talk about the B4 module and how this has like been compared to Epic Theatre. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about the practical demands and preparation required for each style. So obviously Epic Theatre and Children's Theatre are very different and been a lot of a different process. However, there have been loads of similarities and differences that we've used for each, but a lot with Epic Theatre we've had to not be more creative, but like think outside the box. Like we didn't go with anything like basic or stereotypical. That's what we're going for. With Children's Theatre we're going for stuff that's stereotypical to children, and with Epic Theatre we need to think outside the box, which like stuff that isn't stereotypical. So with Epic Theatre, I have a feeling that most people agree with me, but I think that it required more thought for each scene. Where Children's Theatre, there was loads of different scenes where we're just doing what children would like, so it's not that hard. So with all of that, all we had to do is like with Children's Theatre, it's just like, oh, what were children like? This, let's do that. Where with Epic Theatre, it was more of a what does this scene mean? How should we interpret that? And how can we do that while including elements of Epic Theatre? So yeah, I think the demands and the prep for Epic Theatre was like a lot like more tedious to say than Children's Theatre. However, Children's Theatre obviously hasn't been like a breeze. It was, in my opinion, I had a lot more fun with Children's Theatre, I think, because it allowed us to be more creative since it's not a scripted piece. So obviously it has like a kind of line that you have to follow with the story. However, like, because we've got to like branch out with that and like still make our own piece, it's been a lot more creative, and I quite like being more creative than just following a script, even though you obviously interpret a script in a different way. But it's, in my opinion, I thought Children's Theatre was more, not even easier, but like just more enjoyable, especially since I was a director. I thought that was really fun. And with Epic Theatre we didn't have like roles or anything, and it was a lot less costume and everything, because it's like minimalistic, because you have to have like no costume, and you're trying to be like either neutral or an extreme in Epic Theatre, where in Children's Theatre you need to be a character, you get to be a makeup and everything. So I personally found Children's Theatre a lot more fun. However, the creative, like the actual like analysing of Epic Theatre and actually like going into like what does this mean, how should we interpret that of Epic Theatre, I thought that was amazing and really enjoyed that too. So the techniques and performance skills specific to each style. So the techniques and skills of Epic Theatre, like the conventions and like the skills you use aren't that dissimilar from Children's Theatre, because Children's Theatre you break the fourth wall all the time, of course, to talk to children, and with Epic Theatre like you're constantly breaking the fourth wall as well, because like that's a huge like part of Epic Theatre, because Brecht believed in like breaking the fourth wall to make people aware that they're watching theatre. It was alienation, so that people understand what they're viewing. So with children's theatre and Epic Theatre, like they're very, very similar with that, because you're trying to make the children aware and like say like, oh, you're watching this and it's fun, and you want them to be included, and you also want the audience in Epic Theatre to be included so they understand the meaning. Obviously Epic Theatre has a more deeper meaning than children's theatre, but both of them, like, you break the fourth wall a lot just to allow the audience to be more engulfed in the piece. So a lot with that is very the same. However, obviously there's a lot different, as Epic Theatre, you kind of use a lot of like shouting, and it's very serious as well. It can be not serious, but a lot of the time it is. I know with my piece it was with Night Trial, because I did the first bit, we did the opening. I know with that we were being very serious in the beginning bit, in the first scene, in the third scene. Second scene not so much, but with that, like, it was a lot more of a serious tone, which obviously isn't children's theatre, because you're not really serious at any point in children's theatre. It's supposed to be fun and silly, so that was very different. And so using very like different body language, different everything in Epic Theatre was obviously very different to children's theatre, where we're constantly trying to be over the top, but in a funny way, not in a serious way, where I think that's the big difference. In Epic Theatre you're doing it to convey a meaning, and in children's theatre you're doing it to make children more engaged in your piece. So that was a big difference. And also the factors and influences which have affected the development of Two Stars. So the influences are obviously the script and the book. So with Epic Theatre, we obviously saw did the trial script, and we interpreted that in the way that we wanted, well, not what we wanted, the way we thought was best. And with children's theatre we did the Scarecrow's Wedding, which we tried to interpret as like a piece where we can show children about kind of diversity, like showing loads of different places, different animals, and like, yeah, just showing like just kind of trying to make it fun, really. Yeah, and also talking more about the preparation we did for both. In Epic Theatre, my group, we looked at stills and seeing like certain body language that each character had, because we were multi-rolling. We wanted to make sure for each character we had a specific way we stand and like have our bodies expressed. So with that, we in the trial with our inspector, we always have hands behind our backs. When we were guard, we'd have our hands on our hips, like to show like the status of each character. So working on stills in Epic Theatre was like a really big help, I think, and like developing it really helped develop our characters. And with Epic Theatre, like the way we did that, I went on with my group in children's theatre to also use that to like work on like a certain way that our character holds ourselves, because it makes our character so much more kind of 3D than just like a 2D person, like, wow, I'm a cat, like so yeah, we worked on specific things that our character did, like, or how our character holds herself. Like with my character, Betty, I can hold myself like very girly and very excited all the time. With Emmy, he always like kind of hops, like he's very together to make it more like funny that he's a dance instructor. And we did that with everyone else as well. The way Titch and Jaden held themselves are always like that, very scarecrow, very stiff, to be like a kind of foil to how they actually are. Like they're not like they're quite soft inside. There we go. and we made sure we did all this and had the way our characters hold ourselves exactly like Epic Theatre, and I thought that was an amazing way to do that. In Epic Theatre we just worked on like just how our character stands, how our characters should be held, especially with multi-rolling. It really helped in Epic Theatre, because when I played a guard that Tristan had already played, then I would hold myself the same way Tristan did to make it clear as well. So then when we went on to Children's Theatre, we kind of did the same thing, even though we're not multi-rolling. We worked on how we hold ourselves, so it's clear, like, I'm still this character, I'm still like constantly in character. And it's a great way to stay in character as well, if you know that you're supposed to hold yourself a different way that you already do in real life. So I thought that was a really, really good way to develop our characters as well. So we did that, and we also took pictures of how our characters hold ourselves, like in character, and I thought that from Epic Theatre, using that as well in our Children's Theatre piece really helped. So the techniques and performance skills were like very similar, like, and also different, like I explained. And yeah, I think that's all I need to talk about how we developed each thing and how they're kind of similar and different. But yeah, we're performing the Children's Theatre piece, like I said in the last clip, same day. We're performing that on Thursday, so that will be very soon. It's in 2 days, so I think that is all I need to add. Anything else that like I need to write about or anything that I need to update will be in the written document that I like put in with that I handed in with my assignment. So this will be the end of my logbook. I also have a written document to go along with this, so anything else will be at the end of that. But this is the end of the video log, because we're kind of finished the developing of it now. We've done and we've got that all out. So yeah, thank you for listening to this very long video of my logbook, and it's been a really good process as well. It's been really fun. Thank you.